Ever experienced that over the moon sensation when you find out he or she loves you? Those words mean the world. I love you. Your heart races, your stomach flutters, and you finally find comfort in knowing you matter. It doesn't have to be your lover, it can be a positive feedback from your boss or a friend, or it can be a parent who might be older and ailing who finally says, I always loved you, even though I didn't show it enough. That sense of I matter to someone, or that someone loves you, admires you, and cares for you, is deep and natural. It feels good to matter, to be important in someone's world. Unconditional love is something all human beings crave, and unfortunately, many people do not get it from their family of origin. Instead, the love they get is based on actions, being a good girl or a good boy, or it is given out sporadically when the parent, guardian, or adult in the picture feels like being magnanimous. Most people never really experience true unconditional love from another person. The closest feeling they might get is the love of their beloved pet. Loving oneself does not mean developing a shell and blocking out the world. It doesn't mean having an ego so big that no one else can fit into a room with you. It doesn't mean foregoing relationships because you only enjoy being with yourself. And while it may be tempting for many, it doesn't mean you should only have pets for the rest of your life. It does not mean becoming comfortable with who you are. It means recognizing that someone else who didn't learn unconditional love has a hard time giving it. It means recognizing that most human beings hurt and they pass this hurt along to other people. Understanding this can help you turn your attention from waiting and wanting someone to make you whole to realizing you have that ability inside of you. Many of us give away love as freely as if it were an endless surplus of goods, which is what love should be, an endless surplus. We bestow it upon our families, our friends, our pets, and sometimes even our material possessions. We fall in love with objects of our romantic desires. So, if it is so easy to give love to others, why is it such a challenge to do the same for ourselves? If we can have compassion for those in pain, why then, when it comes to our own suffering, do we rarely give ourselves the same grace? If we can effortlessly fall in love with others, why does the idea of falling in love with ourselves make us cringe? In some cases, lack of self love is due to direct emotional abuse and denigration. But in many others, the causes are much more nuanced. One such case is one in which the child is idealized and expected to perform at an exceptional level. There isn't necessarily so much praise when they perform well, but when they do less than exceptionally, there is significant disappointment. This can lead to perfectionism or the feeling of never doing well enough, even when the child is highly successful by any objective standard. As children, we are often taught to motivate ourselves through self criticism. When we internally parent with punishment and criticism, similar to an authoritarian parent, we activate our fear response system, which produces increased levels of the stress hormone cortisol. When we live from a place of self love, that is, compassion and boundaries, we deactivate the fear response system and release levels of hormone oxytocin, which is associated with the feelings of contentment.